So hello my dear friends, welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. And thank you for sending me super thanks as well. So today in this video, let's continue our journey, our series of planets through houses in Navamsa Chart in Vedic Astrology. And let's try to understand Rahu placement in the first house of your D-9 Navamsa Chart and what are going to be the kind of karmas that are particularly associated, whether positive or negative, with this particular placement in your Navamsa Kundali. I know many of you are familiar with the story of Swayambharu. Okay, Swayambharu is a Rakshas, devil. So Lord Vishnu cut the throat. You know that you heard about that churning of an ocean, Samudra Manthan. I know many of you are familiar with that story. But you know who actually told to Lord Vishnu, like there is one devil who is sitting in our gods, who is actually drinking that nectar, that is planet Sun and planet Moon. So they make the complaint to Lord Vishnu. So they actually do that complaining part, and that is where the Rahu and Ketu axis is going to particularly become very inimical with planet Sun and Moon. And every year you observe lot of Grahan, Surya Grahan or Chandra Grahan. This is the eclipse. So Rahu and Ketu, they are very inimical towards Sun and Moon. And if this Rahu and Ketu particularly posited in the zodiac signs of Cancer or Leo, then this is going to become very, very problematic. Because this is going to be a formation of lot of stored karmas which are eventually coming in the later stages or later half of your life when you are getting married. And these are the karmas which is particularly the stored karma, and that is either going to come from your maternal or from your paternal side. It depends upon the Rahu and Ketu placement. Even this is applicable to conjunction of Rahu and Ketu with planet Sun or even planet Moon as well. Here the family, specifically the father or the mother, they are going to be acting as one of the biggest obstruction factor in front of you to get married. Even after getting married, the indulgence of family, specifically father and mother. So please don't consider your family only. I'm actually talking about both families, girl side family and the boy side family as well. So both of the families, they are actually going to become a very, very problematic part when it comes to the marriage and married life aspect. And I humbly request you, if you are having that Rahu placement in first 7th axis, this is a very sincere recommendation, is to please cut that family aspect from your life completely. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult for you to survive or sustain the relationships. Next, let's come to the spiritual aspect that is connected with this Rahu. Rahu in the Navamsa is going to behave in a very spiritualistic way. And now you need to check or pay attention towards the zodiac sign placement as well. Like whether Rahu is forming some sort of a connection with Jupiterian zodiac signs, Mercurian zodiac signs, with Saturnian zodiac signs, or with the Mars zodiac sign. This is going to be the similar kind of a nature which your spouse is going to exhibit after marriage. For example, Rahu is posited in the sign of Capricorn, Aquarius. So these are the zodiac signs of Saturn. And have you seen that rings around the Saturn? So this is going to act as in a very overprotective manner. So your life partner, particularly he or she, they are going to be very possessive. Or they are going to put forth a lot of restrictions in front of you, like you need to do this thing in that way, you need to do this thing in a that way, you need to go there, you don't need to go there, you need to dress up in a particular way, you need to do that kind of a thing. Or you can also call it as the expectations with this Rahu placement in the Lagna is going to be extremely very, very, very high. And it becomes very, very difficult for one individual to fulfill the expectations of this Rahu placement in the first house. Because here the Ketu is particularly posited in the 7th house. Although from the beauty part, okay, if you are looking for a very handsome, charming or very beautiful life partner, Ketu in the 7th house have the ability to bless you with a very good amount of beauty and very good amount of charming personality at the same time. But beauty and physical characteristics are not going to play a very important role in marriage. There are going to be other emotional connection, your love compatibility, spiritual compatibility. So all that factors are going to play a very important role. And that is going to be a very confusing factor with this Rahu people. In the initial stages, I will tell you, they just fall for the beauty. Even it doesn't matter whether you are a male or a female, you are going to fall for the beauty of other person. You are going to judge other people by their looks, like how he or she is looking. Because that is the mentality of Rahu. Rahu is becoming very obsessive here. In the first house, Rahu want to patch up. Rahu don't want to live alone or a very secluded life. Rahu want to go into relationships. Rahu want to experience whether I'm going to receive something out of marriage or I'm not going to receive something out of marriage. So Rahu first main triggering point is towards that beautification part. And yes, Ketu in the 7th house, I told you, this is going to bless you with a very beautiful, handsome and charming partner. And after you getting married, you tie your knots together with one another and all your other compatibilities are not matching, then Rahu tend to lose its interest in the marriage and married life aspect. When there is not going to be any emotional intimacy coming, there is no any love compatibility coming, and then they will see that demanding nature. And that is the demanding nature of their life partner. Because if you make 7th house the first house of your life partner, then the 7th house is how he or she is going to behave in a marriage. So that is going to behave in a completely Rahuistic manner. That is a purely materialistic manner. Here I will tell you, one individual must need to be in the spiritual realm in order for you to function this marriage and married life aspect in a completely easy manner. Otherwise, if both male and female, they are going to become very, very, very materialistic, then it becomes very difficult for you to carry forward your marriage and the married life aspect. Because this is going to completely create a blockage in the first house. This will cut down the circulation. So this is then some sort of a stored form of water. That is not a very pure water which you can drink very easily. So the similar form of clutter this Rahu will create over there. Even this Rahu, as I told you, after initial stages, they tend to discover the other parts as well. Like this is necessary, emotional part is also necessary, spiritual compatibility is also necessary, children is also necessary, and we need to become a husband or a wife. So we need to look after the family and that kind of a part as well. And then Rahu tend to become feeling very bored over there. Because Rahu only want to enjoy the beauty part of marriage, only the good things towards marriage. But if you give Rahu some difficulty, so Rahu will not be able to involve into the practicalities of marriage. That is the day-to-day difficulties. It may be financial problems, which both husband and wife they are going to face. It may be problems with regards to the children, which they are going to face. Any other health related problem, so Rahu don't want to bother from all that areas. Rahu is only looking for that satisfaction part. Like something very perfect which doesn't exist fall into my lap and I'm going to be very happy and contented, and that is in this way my marriage is going to proceed. And that is going to be an illusion in front of their eyes which they will not be able to see in the initial stages. So here I'm saying the word initial stages, that is particularly up to the Mars maturity at the age of 28, sometime up to Venus maturity at the age of 26 or 25, sometime up to Mercury maturity at the age of 32, Saturn maturity 35, 36. So pay attention towards zodiac sign. If Rahu is posited in Saturnian zodiac sign, so that illusion part is going to eradicate away after the age of 35 or 36. If it is in Martian zodiac sign, if it is posited in the moon zodiac sign, if it is posited in the Jupiterian zodiac signs of Sagittarius or even Pisces, then at the age of 16 that illusion part will totally eradicate away. But the planetary maturity is going to play a very important role in order for you to understand this Rahu in a much better way. Also, their perception towards marriage is going to be totally different. They don't want to enjoy marriage from some burden perspective or from some responsibility point of view or some partnership point of view. They are just looking for the enjoyment purpose in the marriage, and that is where these individuals tend to feel very comfortable if there is no any interlocking of karmas are happening. Interlocking mean going through the original way of marriage, taking 7 firas around that fire or in a ritualistic manner. So Rahu is going to be totally against that kind of a thing. Rahu don't actually understand what is the purpose, why we are actually going in that ritualistic way, why to call different people and then celebrate these kind of a things. No, Rahu is going to be having a very different kind of a mindset towards marriage as well. Because Rahu is going to consider marriage just as a partnership thing. If two partners coming together doing a 50-50% kind of a business, so one is also putting the 50%, other must need to put the 50%. So that is there. This is the mentality of Rahu. But marriages don't work in that way where you are giving 50 and other is also giving 50. This might going to increase and decrease with the passage of time. Sometime you need to contribute 80%. Your wife need to contribute 20%. Sometime you need to contribute way more than your life partner, and Rahu don't feel very comfortable when the contribution of this Rahu is becoming very, very higher. And that is why this Rahu tend to form a very spiritualistic kind of a attitude or very spiritualistic kind of a mindset around that marriage part. I'm not saying this is a good thing or this is a bad thing, but this is the Rahu way of thinking. Rahu don't think like Jupiterian ways, okay, marriage is important, we need to become a family person, we need to raise up kids and these kind of things. Rahu is not against thing, but Rahu don't want to superimpose any sort of restrictions from the marriage directly over the ascendant. Rahu want to become a very free person in the Navamsha Kundli. Because I will tell you, if this Rahu is in conjunction with more planets, Saturn, maybe Mars, maybe Mercury, Jupiter, so the more planets this Rahu is going to be in conjunction with, the more amount of karmas that are particularly associated with that planets. And these are the karmas which will even reflect in your D-9 natal birth chart as well. For example, suppose you are Aries ascendant in your natal birth chart, or you are becoming a Libra ascendant in the D-9 Navamsha chart. So you are shifting from Aries to Libra. Okay, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. Suppose Rahu is posited in the Navamsha Kundli as a Libra ascendant in the first house, and that is particularly in connection with planet Moon or maybe any other planet. So now pay attention towards your D1 chart. This is Aries ascendant, so 4th house is ruled by planet Moon. It means that karmas are connected with the 4th house. Now depending upon the dignity, whether this is strong connection or a bad connection, this is going to reflect after marriage. 4th house is your mother. So mother is going to badly suffer because of your marriage, or you are going to suffer badly because of your mother. 4th house is your homeland. So this might going to take you away from the homeland as well, taking you into some different country. 4th house is your land, real estate and property related matters. Immediately after marriage, either these family property disputes will come into your life or they will totally getting eradicated. So this is even going to reflect the karma in the D1 Kundli as well. Rahu with connection with Surya, planet Sun. So look into the 5th house that is governed by planet Sun. That is the children, that is the house of education. So either there are going to be problems with regards to education, or either you are going to get a very good education. Either the children are going to become very problematic, or either children are going to bless you with a lot of like blessings in your life. So in this way, you need to understand that thing. Here I'm not becoming a very judgmental person and saying Rahu is bad in the 1st house or good in the 1st house, but this is going to be a very illusionistic kind of a Rahu. Rahu is living in the future, in the realm of future, that have nothing to do with the practicalities. Because Rahu don't want to exist in this practical realm. And marriage is a very practical thing. So that practicality part Rahu want to escape. And that is where I told you, one person, if it is materialistic, one person need to become purely spiritual person. Highly spiritual, I will tell you. And that is where these individuals tend to learn their lessons at the maturity of planets, maybe 32, 35, 42. So then they tend to realize that Rahu will open their chakshu, their eyes. Like, no, I'm doing something wrong. Materialism is not a part of marriage. This is only some context. We need to look after all the other areas as well. And then this Rahu tend to give improvement in the later stages. And I have seen a lot of successful marriages happening with Rahu in the 1st house of Navamsha as well. It totally depends upon the perception of few individuals. So I hope you have found some deep insights in this particular video with me. If you have any queries, any consultations with regards to your Rahu Ketu placement in the Navamsha Kundli, any other marriage, career, spiritual consultation or business consultation, so do let me know. I will try my best to respond you back as soon as possible. So till then, please subscribe my channel below and make sure to hit the like button if you really enjoyed this video. And please don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well. And thank you so much for sending me super thanks over all my videos. I would personally thank you, all the individuals that are sending me super thanks from the bottom of my heart. So till then, please take care of yourself and may God bless you. Om Namah Shivaya.